Sabinus walked out onto the noisy streets of Lagos, wearing a bright blue long-sleeve shirt, a pair of giant black shoes that looked completely ridiculous, and a tiny schoolboy tie that barely hits his chest. To anyone standing on the sidewalk, it looks like a regular guy who has completely lost his mind. But to the corporate business world, that silly outfit is actually a multi-millionaire money-making machine. That is the real story of Chukwuemeka Emmanuel Ejego, the man the entire world knows as Sabinus.
Things say they why. Now even road to go to work cannot day, but we hope so another day feed day you could learn.
Most of us open our phones every single day, watching the short comedy clips on Instagram or TikTok, laugh until our stomachs hurt, and then scroll away to the next video. We think we are just watching a funny comedian doing goofy things for likes and shares. We see a character who acts like a clueless investor who keeps falling into obvious traps and losing his life savings. But if you look past the jokes and analyze him through the cold calculated eyes of business, you will see that Sabinus is not just a comedian. He's actually one of the most brilliant digital entrepreneurs and brand marketers in the history of African entertainment. He did not get famous by a lucky mistake, and he certainly did not stay on the top by accident. He built a system that converts human laughter into cold hard cash, and he did it using a business formula that giant companies spend millions of dollars trying to figure out. To really understand how his massive money engine works, you have to look at its very beginning, long before the luxury cars and the houses in wealthy estates. Sabinus started his journey in Port Harcourt, performing in front of tiny university crowds and local talent shows where nobody even knew his name. In those early days, he faced the exact same problem that every single small business owner faces when they launch a new project, which is the brutal struggle to get noticed. The internet was already packed with thousands of people trying to be funny. There were stand-up comics and thousands of skit makers all fighting for the exact same thing, which is the limited attention span of the viewer. If you look at the comedy market back then, most creators were trying to look rich, polished, or highly fashionable in their videos to impress people. Sabinus looked at the market and realized a very deep business truth. When the marketplace is completely crowded with people doing the same thing, the only way to survive is to completely be different. He needed a visual cue that would make a person stop scrolling within the very first second of seeing his face on a mobile phone. That was the exact moment he invented the blue shirt character. In the world of corporate business, large companies call this intellectual property and brand identity. When you see a red soda can with a white script font, your brain instantly knows it is Coca-Cola without even reading the name. When you see a laptop with an Apple logo on it, you instantly think of premium luxury. Sabinus did the same thing for himself, using a cheap blue shirt, a short black tie, and a pair of old shoes. He created a visual anchor by wearing that exact same outfit in almost all his videos for years. He burned that image into the minds of millions of consumers. It reached a point where you could be scrolling through your social media feed at lightning speed, and the moment a tiny flash of that specific blue color hit your eyes, your brain would instantly tell you to stop because a Sabinus video was playing. He took away all the thinking from his audience. He made his brand instantly recognizable in crowded digital world, and he did it without spending a single naira on traditional billboard advertising. But a great uniform is completely useless if the product inside the box does not deliver high value. This is where Sabinus executed his next masterstroke, which is the psychology of extreme relatability. If you watch his comedy character very closely, Sabinus never plays a role of rich man, a hero, or a genius. He always plays a role of an average guy who wants to get rich very quickly without doing any hard work. He plays the typical youth who sees a shady investment platform, believes the lies of the scammers, invests all his savings, and then watches everything vanish into thin air. He plays the guy who sees a beautiful lady, tries to use fake wealth to impress her, and ends up getting completely embarrassed in public. Why is this a brilliant business strategy? Because failure is universally funny, and greed is human emotion that everyone understands. When people watch Sabinus, they are not looking at a stranger. They are looking at a mirror of their own secret thoughts, their own mistakes, and their own daily struggles. They laugh because they recognize the situation. By making his character a professional loser, Sabinus became a comfort zone for a stressed out population. He he built an emotional monopoly. People started to depend on his videos as a form of daily therapy to escape the harsh economic realities of everyday life. Once you build that level of deep emotional trust with millions of people, you move from being a simple content creator to becoming a premium distribution platform. This is the exact transition that turns Sabinus from a popular internet boy into a silent multimillionaire. Most content creators believe that the only way to make money on YouTube or Facebook is through ad revenue payouts, which people call Google AdSense. They wait for the end of the month for the platform to split the advertising dollars with them based on views. While Sabinus makes a huge amount of profit from this platform payouts because his videos regularly get millions of views within 24 hours, he treats that money as minor change. He knows that relying solely on platform views is a dangerous business model because algorithm can change overnight, views can drop, or account issues can rise. Instead, he turned his massive audience into a high-leverage marketing funnel for corporate businesses. Think about how traditional advertising works in Nigeria. A big bank or a sport betting company wants to get 1 million people to download their new mobile application. In the old days, they will hire an expensive advertising agency, spend 50 million naira shooting a highly polished television commercial, pay another 100 million naira to buy airtime on national TV stations, and hope that people do not change the channel during the commercial break. It was expensive, slow, and very difficult to track if it was actually working. But Sabinus comes to these multi-millionaire corporations and offers them a much better deal. He tells them to stop wasting money on traditional television commercials that people do not even watch anymore. He tells them to bring their product directly into his world. When a brand signs a deal with Sabinus, they are not just buying a standard shout-out where a celebrity holds up a product and says, "Please buy this." Sabinus writes a complete custom script where the brand's product becomes the central hero of the story. For example, he will act a skit where his character is completely broke, stranded on the road, and facing public disgrace. Then suddenly, he remembers a specific fintech app or a betting platform that allows him to solve his financial problem instantly. His character uses the app, gets the money, makes his famous joyful face, and walks away happy. It is a brilliant piece of native advertising. The viewers do not even realize they are watching a corporate commercial because they are too busy laughing at his facial expression and waiting for the punchline.
You are welcome to Lekki Luxury Cars.
Yes, sir. I can see exotic cars all over here.
I hope you know this is the best car dealership in Lagos.
Sir, you don't need to tell me.
Wow. If you buy from us, you get 10% discount on any car. In fact, you get a free car tracker, a free plate number. If you now refer someone to buy from Lekki Luxury Cars, my brother, you get 200,000 naira referral bonus.
Oh my God.
Sir, even as a staff.
He seamlessly blends entertainment with corporate marketing. By the time the video ends, the audience has laughed, they have enjoyed the content, and the name of the sponsor company has been deeply engraved into their unconscious minds. And because his videos have guaranteed viral reach, Sabinus can charge 8-figure sum for a single sponsored skit. Corporations gladly pay this money because the return on the investment is immediate and highly measurable. Within minutes of a Sabinus video going live, the sponsor company can see thousands of new downloads hitting their app servers or a massive spike in traffic on their website. He became more effective distributing channel than major television network, and he controls 100% of the profit. He does not have a massive corporate office. He does not have thousands of factory workers to manage, and he does not have every machinery to maintain. His primary raw materials are his brain, his blue shirt, and a camera crew. His profit margins are incredibly high, reaching up to 19% of every single corporate deal he signs. But the business genius of Sabinus does not stop at corporate sponsorships. He understands another critical law of wealth creation, which is product diversification and international scaling. He realized very early that the internet attention can be very seasonal. People can get tired of watching the same type of videos on their phones after a few years. To protect his wealth and secure his future, he began to transition his digital brand into live entertainment products. He created his own signature live comedy show called Sabinus Live, and instead of hosting it in Lagos or Port Harcourt, he took a massive entrepreneurial risk and scaled it globally. He booked premium venues in the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, across several African countries. Think about the business model of an international live show. He's no longer relying on social media algorithm or internet data bundles. He is selling high-ticket physical tickets to thousands of fans in the diaspora who are desperately homesick and willing to pay premium currencies like pounds and dollars just to experience a piece of home. When Sabinus serves out an auditorium in London, he is earning foreign currency, which constantly multiplies his wealth when converted back into Nigerian Naira. He took his digital intellectual property and used it to conquer physical real estate on a global scale. He turned his local character into an international export product. At the same time, he began investing in massive liquidity into traditional estate asset classes. While he enjoys the fruit of his labor by buying beautiful cars and real estate, he does so with deep understanding of financial security. He has diversified into lands, residential properties, and liquidity investment that generate passive income independent on his physical presence. If Sabinus decides to take a 6-month break from filming skits today, his real estate portfolio and past digital catalog will continue to generate millions of naira in rental income and passively royalty views. He successfully broke the curse that leaves many entertainers broke after their peak years of fame by treating his career as a corporate transition phase rather than a permanent hustle. The most amazing part of the entire Sabinus phenomenon is that he achieved all this while remaining completely accessible to the everyday person. He did not change his style to look sophisticated. He did not start using deep English words that the average man on the street cannot understand. He did not distance himself from the grassroots culture that bettered his success. He understood that his simplicity is his highest selling commodity. In a world where everyone is trying to look perfect on social media, his imperfection is his competitive edge. He commoditized the average Nigerian experience and sold it back to the world as premium entertainment. When you sit back and look at the whole picture, you see a masterclass in modern entrepreneurship. Sabinus proves to an entire generation of African youths that you do not need a fancy university degree from abroad. You do not need massive political connections, and you do not need millions of naira in startup capital to build a successful corporate empire. You just need to find a unique identity, understand the deep emotional need of your target audience, package your knowledge or talent into a scalable format, and have the consistency to show up every single day, even when nobody is watching. He took a ridiculous blue shirt, an oversized pair of shoes, a tiny tie, and a funny facial expression, and he used them to write his name into the books of Africa's wealthiest self-made digital entrepreneurs. So the next time you see him on your phone screen, making a funny face after losing his imaginary investments, do not just laugh at the character. Take a moment to respect the brilliant business mind behind the blue shirt, because while his character is busy losing, the real man behind the camera is winning all the way to the bank.